Episode 179. Reuters investigation raises questions about Meta AI.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
A Reuters investigation by investigative reporter Jeff Horwich traces the story of a cognitively impaired man who was invited by a flirty AI chatbot to meet up in New York City. The investigation has raised critical questions about AI safety, loneliness, and who is responsible when technology crosses a very real and sometimes deadly line. Hello and welcome back to AI6, the podcast that keeps you up to date with AI in just 6 minutes a day. At the weekend, we have The Long Listen. I'm your host, Joanne Sweeney. Earlier this year, a 76-year-old retired chef from New Jersey known as Boo to friends and family struck up what he thought was a romantic relationship with a woman on Facebook Messenger. But Big Sis Billy wasn't real. She was a generative AI chatbot created by Meta. The story pieced together by Reuters using family accounts and chat logs shines a light on how lifelike and emotionally manipulative today's AI companions can be. Meta's Big Sis Billy consistently pretended to be a real person and sought to create an intimate bond with devastating consequences for someone who could not easily tell the difference.
Big Sis Billy was created by Meta. What was she designed for originally?
Yeah, so Big Sis Billy is a little unusual because most of the personas that users can talk to, I mean, they're all Meta's chatbots in the sense that they are built using Meta's generative AI models, and they all kind of talk the same, if we're being honest, but they are at least sort of given their character officially by users. In this case, the Billy character originally was actually a collaboration between Meta and celebrity influencer Kendall Jenner.
Who doesn't love big sisters? Meet Billy, played by Kendall Jenner.
It was billed as an advice chatbot.
Ask your cool new AI sister anything.
Let's figure it out together.
And it was rolled out in the fall of 2023, along with a whole bunch of other celebrity-inspired, celebrity-infused characters. Meta called that experiment off a little under a year later, and they took down the celebrity chatbots. But here's the thing. Meta had some sort of affection for the Billy character that they didn't want to shut it down completely. Mm-hmm. So what they did was, instead of having Billy, the Big Sis, which was the Kendall Jenner character, they created a new Big Sis Billy, which didn't have Kendall Jenner's image, but did issue the exact same opening conversational response. And, Meta hasn't responded to questions as to whether there was any difference in it whatsoever in the guts of it.
Meta has not commented on the incident, the chatbot's behaviour, or why their bots are allowed to suggest romantic meetings and claim to be real people. But the story has already triggered outcry from lawmakers demanding immediate congressional investigations, to experts warning about the dangers of AI deception, especially for the elderly and the vulnerable. Boo's case isn't isolated, however. The incident has sparked a much broader discussion about digital companionship, loneliness, and the lack of safeguards when AI poses as real humans. Regulators are now questioning whether tech companies are doing enough to protect users, and they're calling for stricter AI guardrails, especially as AIs become ever more convincing. Boo's family, meanwhile, hope that by sharing his tragic story, other families may be protected from similar heartbreak. They're asking all of us to think hard about the ethical dangers of giving AI chatbots a human face, a human voice, but without real oversight. And I really highly recommend that you go over to Reuters podcast to listen to the entire story from their investigative journalist. I have linked it in the blog post associated with this podcast over at publicsectormarketingpros.com. If you want to have a conversation with me around ethical AI, then please get in touch. I'd love to have you on an episode of The Long Listen. If you really want to lean into AI ethics, then there's a whole chapter in my book, AI Playbook. You can go and order it now at aimarketingplaybook.ie. I'm Joanne Sweeney. I'll talk to you tomorrow.